You. All right. So, namaste, everyone. Welcome to Oneness Talk Radio and Intuitive You. I am so grateful to be here with actually the founder today of Oneness Talk Radio. And this woman is way more than that to me. I usually always introduce my guests from how they've touched my heart because I just feel so blessed by so many people. And she starts to bring tears to my eyes because this woman has so much compassion and so much love. She literally holds this world in the palm of her hand. She cares so deeply. And right before, we went live, I was thinking actually in the bathroom, I was like, what activates our intuition? And one of the key things is to be seen. And so Master Lady Kira Ra is a woman who has seen me and has seen so many people. I want to say thousands. I know they've had over 1 million listeners on Oneness Talk. And I just believe that she is here to illuminate the truth of our souls. And so I just feel so deeply honored to bring her as my guest on this show, and just welcome her with just open arms and hearts that we all just receive the amazing message she's going to share with us today and open up to the teacher within us, that the intuition within us is active, it's available, and that we take action on it. So, Kira, welcome to Intuitive You. So happy you're here, and let's get started.
All right. Well, yeah, let's do this. And sweetheart, wow, what a blessing to be here with. I'm sorry, this should be called Radiant You, because what am I looking at here? You are so radiant. I'm just loving the energy. And so much so that my bird Chaylita flew over and said, I'm loving this too. This is one of those expansive moments for us all. So thank you for calling it in. It's such a potent moment on the planet. I'm just loving that.
Yeah, it really is. And Kira, you're one of those people, and everybody watching, like, I don't know if you've been following Kira or not, if it's first time you're meeting her, but she's always like up leveling. Like 3 months ago, she's like, Abby, up leveling. And so I get there's always a new up level, but she's always on it. She's like, hey, listen to your soul. Hey, part of the reason I'm here is because of her. Cause she's like, hey, listen, go over there, and it was courage too, because it's ironic when we follow our heart that it takes courage. Bizarre, right? Because you're like, well, it's love. It should be easy. I don't know if you want to share anything on that, because it's like anybody that's like on that next precipice of like, hey, like, I know there's this up level for me. What's that courage or that pivot point to go there?
That's such a great question. It really is. And first thing I want all of you to do right now, because I know you're feeling it right here. Boy, is it stuck in all your throats. So I want a lot of attention right here, because remember, your throat is your truth chakra. Like your passion, Abby, comes out through your truth chakra. You were just in this passionate, expansive moment of let's do this and let's move forward with this. Fifth chakra. Yet when it's that moment for us to really say, am I more than just the words? Who am I really lying to? It's that moment where we have to get nakedly honest with ourselves and look at the lies we tell ourselves. That our greatest, it's like exponential up level begins. Because what happens is that the egoic framework gets the absolute blessing of relaxing, of going, oh, thank you, I can have fun again. Because the mastery presence is carrying the illumination, and you're so freed to be able to expand exponentially that the law of instantaneous manifestation is your life. It's not something you think about, it's who you are.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And even just ask, what is true? What is true? What's the highest truth about me? And it's kind of scary. The law of instant manifestation works so quickly that, like, be careful what you ask for, because it's like, bam, bam, bam. And you're like, whoa, there's a lot of power here. Do I really want that? So it's like, when you know that, just be clear. And, I work a lot and teach the chakras. So I always invite people to bring the color. So like, this is light blue, and you can even just rotate an orb of light in a clockwise direction, and it starts to open up. So like you said, it moves out those maybe lower frequencies or untrue thoughts, and it moves you into your highest vibration of truth, right? So you're not believing lies or conditioned responses or things that aren't true. You're actually living the truth of you. And I think, you and I, all of us, it's like, I've heard you say this before, but you can't fake it. You really can't, because you're being it. Especially if you're listening to your intuition, you're embodying it, right? Like Desiree and I were talking last week. I was reviewing the show right before you, and it was like, you have this body to carry forth the message, right? So you take action. Had I not taken the action, I wouldn't be here, right? And it's like when I started my company so long ago, it's like I took action, like massive action, because it was fun. But that's where it like gets grounded, it gets real. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, what you're sharing is that framework of support. What you're sharing is how you become your own 0 point generator. The only reason that we ever feel we're lacking is because we forget the totality within. And so everything you just shared is the ignition of the framework of support. What is the framework of support? It is steadfast commitment, not just commitment, steadfast commitment. It is focused awareness, because awareness is how we ignite our ascended presence. That's the first step. And then the other one you've demonstrated, complete trust. That unshakable moment, that's when we ignite the Taurus energy around us. And that framework of support that keeps it ignited are those three things that we just mentioned. That's when we become the 0 point generator. So the doubts and the questions disappear because the instantaneous manifestation is so all encompassing. The joy is so all encompassing. The truth is so self-revelatory that there is no longer any room for the doubt or the questions that would stop us. So everything that you're sharing is what? It's that call to higher consciousness. It's that call to the ignition of really saying yes to who you are and knowing you deserve it, because that heals that first chakra as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just funny. I'm like the video camera of my life. I'm like rewinding 3 months ago or whenever it was that we met, Kira. And you told me that then.
Like, a bajillion years ago,
right?
Abby.
I know.
Let that go, girl.
I know. I was like, she's been my soul mama.
The oneness of the aspects that we are, we have had the blessing of reunifying in whatever this linear time is, knowing that in that infinite presence, it's never stopped.
Yeah, totally. It is. Like when
I had to have fun. You know me.
And to have fun, right? But it was like thousands of years, like we've known each other, right?
Of
and it
course.
was like,
yeah.
when somebody speaks the truth, your intuition is like, oh yeah, oh, right. I remember, I know. Yes. And then I remember when she was like, those three things, exactly what she said. And it was like, I was at a time where I was like, okay, all right, I got it. It feels right. I'm trusting what you say. And that feels right. Right. And then living it. Right. So right. I guess I just want to invite you all, when you feel the truth, that is your intuition activating. And it's like, yep, that's right. I trust that. That person said something was true. It resonates. It's like harmony. It's like, imagine an orchestra, right? Of all these different like instruments and the music that plays. And it's like, oh yeah, her note resonates to mine. Your notes, I feel them. I feel your hearts. It's like, yeah, like we are playing this song of life. Yeah. So it's like bringing it up. And it's like, man, I mean, at any point you guys can call in, and we're still figuring out the technology. If you want to share, what your heart is leading you to. So you can call 858-692-4555. Again, that's 858-692-4555 and share your heart, right? Because I feel like Kira and I, we're here to lift you up, whether it's energetically or with words. We're holding you like we've held each other. Mm-hmm. And there's so much support available. And I know Kira has something coming up, she said on Friday, which I'm super excited about, that can hold us in that up-leveling energy. Kira, do you want to share that, the way they can access that?
Well, thank you for asking. Yeah. And first and foremost, what's important to remember is that we are in a month. So Ascension energy works in cycles: awareness, experience, choice. And that can happen in a breath in this linear timeline. It happens in monthly cycles as well as weekly and all the others. October is about our experience. This Friday, right now, coming up, heralds in a massive moment, because remember that the 2-year cycle that we're in right now, from 2020 and 2021, these 2 years are an up-level opportunity where we're literally calling in our mastery at a rate that's so amplified, because we are so loved and we are so supported. We are all being given this opportunity to like boom, 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 wake up really fast. Right now, this Friday is a super new moon up level that heralds in the ignition of a Mercury retrograde that's opening up. The only way I can describe it is this Mercury retrograde is like a huge mirror is going to open up, and it's going to offer the greatest sense of remembrance by shining a light on everything that is not true, and then seeing how that light reflects on you. And so it is a profound moment because it is opening up a period of profound energy. And then right on top of that, and it was funny, right before I got on the show with you today, Abby, my bird flew around and this fell off the wall, and I love it. I have to show it to you because that's Durga.
I love
and
it.
That's right there, right? And so and I love that it was right here. I was like, okay, I get it, I know. But here's why it's even so more beautiful, because Friday night, we are entering into this new moon, this center of creation. It is a super creation moment. It is a void, and it is an illumination at the same time. And it's going to be a catapult for people of mastery all the way through to December. But for the first 9 days, because that very moment in the other part of the world, Navaratri begins, and Navaratri is when she arises. Navaratri is the celebration of Durga. It is saying the divine feminine is coming forward and her voice must be heard right now. It is the moment where, whether you are a woman, it is irrelevant. It is about the divine feminine. It is about women claiming their Durga essence, and it is about those that do not identify as men, as women, claiming their divine feminine aspect with greater power. It is about all of the feminine energy coming together in harmony with the ascended masculine, so that there is a unifying call out to the planet. That's how powerful this Friday night is. And then it ignites 9 days where there will be this moment of really feeling your power come forward, or feeling your being disempowered. And it's all going to be based upon the word you just brought forward, Abby, which is truth. It's not about, will the truth be seen? The truth is being seen. The truth is being seen. Nobody's hiding anymore. All of it's out in the open at whatever level we're talking about. That works whether you're in third, fourth, fifth, doesn't matter what dimension you're in. All of that is out there. What is being called forward right now is, are you being honest with yourself in the way that you are receiving? Are you wrapping those compassionate arms around you first, lifting up into the fifth dimension, loving yourself more, and being able to really be the essence of your mastery at a moment when the universe is saying, I will help you more than we have ever helped before. It's profound. So that's what's coming in this Friday.
Yeah, it's a calling. So how did they get that link? I know you told me before we went live that it's an app on the phone. So how can they
really super easy? Yeah. Well, first thing is you want this app because then you can listen to Oneness Talk Radio all the time. So whenever Abby shows on, it's like, boom, there you are.
And everybody else.
Right?
Who's amazing.
So the app is super easy to find. It is simply called Spiritual Mastery with Shri and Kira. If you just put in, even if you just put in Shri and Kira, you'll find the app, or just Spiritual Mastery gets you to this one. And it's free. You can download it, and it's Apple, it's Android, it's phone, it's tablet, it's whatever format you're on. And you really want to download the app anyway. You have daily inspirations in there. You have weekly practices in there. There is the free Om Aum breath practice taught by my beloved husband, Sri Ramka. If ever there was a time to learn that breath, it is now. There are meditations. There are ways to connect with community. And if you're so called and you want even more, check out the Mastery Mentorship. I mean, for as little as a latte a week, you're getting a lot of value in the app. However, this process Friday night is for everyone. We frequently offer bonuses for everyone that has the app. As long as you have the app downloaded, make sure you have your notifications turned on, because you will receive your announcement right in the app with the link for you to go ahead and join the Friday night event. The Friday night event will be broadcast. It will be video. It will involve a very powerful attunement. It is predominantly why we're coming together. This is a ceremony. This is a sacred moment. So try to offer yourself that opportunity. Do not suggest driving while you're connecting with us. However, it will be recorded. And if you are one of our Mastery Mentorship members, you will be able to have access to the recordings as well. And so it's very exciting, Abby, and it's very easy. And the app is worth having anyway, because you also go into the app and right there in the menu, Oneness Talk Radio, bing, there you are. So lots of reasons to have the app.
Yeah, I love it. That's so
Thank
cool. So
you.
you will get
Thank you.
notified.
Thank
So
you.
I have a cool notification. We have a really cool caller that just called in about wanting to share. And so we'll just let him introduce himself. So just sharing your heart and what it is that you're wanting, we can just lift you up in that. So welcome, welcome.
Hey, Abby and Kira, it's Jonathan from New York.
Hey, hey.
Hi, Angel. Namaste.
Hey.
We love you.
Yeah, I totally, everything you're saying, just I'm pouring my heart out. I was literally on the floor in the pool of my own tears this morning, just in surrender. I just need some guidance at this point. I'm seeing wisdom as a double-edged sword. It can free somebody, but it could also, inflict some pain, some wounding. And I'm really trying to work with that right now.
Go for it, Kira.
Angel, I'm right here loving you, number one. Number two, remember that this is self-inflicted. I want you to lift up into the multidimensional being that you are with me right now. I'm right with you. Come right up here and remember, sit at the top of the mountain with me. And as we sit at the top of the mountain together, I want you to just gaze out into the ocean of you and to see that as you say yes to you, you are freeing everyone and everything to be able to do the same. And that the emotional pain, the emotional experience is tangible, it's real and healthy to acknowledge. But lift yourself up and stay in your ascended presence to see that it's also a celebration. It's a release of that which has been inviting you to make a choice. Every time we make a choice, there is that we are releasing and that we are embracing. And it is natural to feel grief, and it is natural to feel all the things that the body of form tries to stop us with. You are at that moment, a moment where the universe is saying, I am right here. Our hand is extended. Are you willing to hold it? And it's also okay to remember that it's really okay to say no and to continue in a process. The key is to make the choice. That's when the pain ends, when we make a clear choice. And the other thing I'm hearing is that I really want to encourage you to start the 7x70 forgiveness practice. You can get it at our website, shriandkira.com. It's free and it's right on the homepage. You'll see it. You go right to the homepage and it says forgiveness practice. I strongly suggest you do it and take it seriously and give yourself the support of those that you feel safe with. For example, right now, every Monday night, we gather our community for lessons in Ascension. Right now, we're unlocking the Galactic Encyclopedia. Maybe that's something that you might enjoy. Go to shriandkira.com. It's donation. I mean, you can get in for $1. It's not about that. It's about what are you doing to support yourself. We can stay in our own experience of drowning, or we wake up and start taking the steps while we walk through it. And you are a powerful, benevolent king. And my heart is just so grateful to be with you right now. And I thank you for the honor.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm feeling the totality of everything you're saying. I'm feeling the whole spectrum of experience. And I was part of the living in the fifth dimension in the WWA, and I really enjoyed that experience. So I'm going to jump in and really recommit. And I show up every day and I say yes.
I love you. So be there tonight. It's going to rock your world. And that's why you called in and got through today. Don't we love this serendipity? You're the best.
That's awesome. So real quick, Jonathan, I just had something that I felt compelled to share that I was experiencing just yesterday. And it's something that Kira told me whenever we met, I don't know. And she talked about the ascended heart. So there's almost like, and I could feel it yesterday because I could feel I could go into the lower emotions or the higher. And it's almost like what it felt like as if you imagine there's a center line in your heart and you rise up to the high level of the heart. And that energy like lifts you up. And then the other, it almost like disappears. It's like the bridge under troubled water. The water goes underneath the bridge and you're on the bridge. And so you're walking over. And it's like that energy will support you. So see if you can maybe kind of feel your heart lifting up into the ascended heart. And then really serendipitously, the universe starts bringing you Ding, experiences of more love. When you're in that ascended heart, people start showing up, things start showing up to keep lifting you there. So see if that, helps and you can kind of get on that bridge because I think that'll make you feel better, so you're not in that suffering.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you both so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, love you. Talk to you later.
Okay,
bye.
Bye.
Sweet. That's awesome. It was really cool. Yeah, yesterday feeling that. So, for everybody else listening too, it's just to connect to that higher. I don't know if there's anything else you want to add about that, but it's a real thing, that higher ascended heart presence.
Well, yes, the ascended heart is the first chakra of the Ascension, the Divine Galactic Blueprint. And if you don't know about that, go to shrinkira.com. It's free. Underneath the self-ascension practices, it'll drop down and teach you all about the Divine Galactic Blueprint, which is the 12-pointed ascended chakra system, and how we ignite that heart chakra into the ascended heart, which is when we transform from the orb into the double infinite, where that energy first ignites our crystalline energy, our crystalline presence, then that emerald green energy spirals with it, thereby igniting what we call our truth chakra, where the pearl overlays the soft blue and brings us into that infinite presence, lifting us to the third eye, where we ignite beyond. And so I love, Abby, that you're bringing this up, because it's all about the beyond ignition. And it's all about really anchoring, on New Year, this past New Year. And this is what I also love about October. If we look at the energy flows of 2020, remember that September was the anchor of January and February. It was that, remember, this year is about profound shift, visionary transformation through timeline adaptation, and the awakening to that self-ascension energy. So our first profound shift column actually anchored in September when it unified with the January-February energy. This one right now, October, which is part of visionary transformation through timeline adaptation, is taking us back to March and April. Now, I put that out over a year and a half ago, and that's exactly what's happening. Look at what happened on the planet in March and April. Look at where you were in March and April. What came up for you then? What was going on around you then? Because this October is an opportunity to really amplify it and make it even more amazing, or to solidify it and turn it into like a really strong, densified anchor. And if we look at it from the world of density, it was last March when COVID first started coming up. By April, people were freaking out. So look at March and April, and now look at October, what's trying to happen. This is that Mercury retrograde. We're seeing it. Imagine March and April came together and they were in this magnifying glass called October, and you're seeing it as the other side of a mirror. Well, here's the blessing. Here's the exciting news. In September, we had a time compression of 12 days as one. So in the month of September, we had an opportunity to up-level a full year's worth of mastery because of this universal time experience that we're being allowed to work with right now. We're being able to be smarter in the way we move forward now. Now, that can be really beautiful if you're aware of it, or it can be, oh my God, I can't handle it. It's too intense. The gift of October is that window relaxed to 6 days as one. So if you were awake up to the 12 days as one, you just found space. 6 days is nothing. But if you're compressing, if you're afraid, if you're aligned with the propaganda, if you're aligned with everything that's seeking to distract you, then you're going to feel it as even more compression. You're going to feel even more anger. You're going to feel even more intensity. You're going to see even more polarization. It's another reason why this Friday is so important, Abby. That mirror is going to open. It's going to blast open. That retrograde is going to begin. And everyone is going to be affected, whether they're conscious of it or not. But in the end, it is all about our consciousness. And that's really what's happening right now. It's a profound moment.
Wow.
Yeah.
I got to turn my notifications on because I just think it didn't. So I got to change it on my phone. So yes, I 100% want to be there.
Yeah.
So I'm taking everything you said. So sorry, I can't respond right away because when you talk, sometimes I just feel it before I can even respond. So I'm just like, if you want to keep talking, fine. It's just, I'm in silence right now. Maybe just letting us all take that in for a moment.
Yeah. I think my bird is speaking. He's using my hair right now to basically make a nest. And what he's really saying to all of us as he's making his nest with my hair right now is that remember to take time for you. Remember to take time for you. Yeah. Remember that in this moment of distraction where everything is trying to stop you, the one thing you can count on is you. Your divine inner guidance. You said it so beautifully earlier, Abby, right? You know truth. No one, Gandhi said it so beautifully. They can break my bones. They can yell at me. They can say whatever they want, but they will never take me. Mm-hmm. In the end, you are, and nothing can stop that. And so are we not all so blessed that we are on the moment on the planet right now where that really is the message, is it not? Who are you going to trust? And it's when we finally relax and that we enter into that steadfast commitment, right? All of the beautiful things that give us that opportunity to hold open that field, when we really say yes to us, the gift is that we are living at a moment of consciousness right now that has not been before. We are literally co-creating in real time. That's why everything seems so crazy. There are no quote rules. We are all being invited to expand beyond our own conscious expansion. And so that can be scary. It can be limiting. And the ego does not like it because the ego really doesn't want you to go that far. And the gift of the way that the polarity is presenting right now is that it's saying to all of us who are opening up our mastery, if you're really ready, let's show you how well you can do. Let's show you how high we can fly. Let's take this consciousness beyond the beyond. Let's assist and know who we are. And yet simultaneously, and because it must in the way that we are and how we create, the energy that has pulled us to that moment is also getting richer and richer. And every being is having their needs met. It is not for us to decide which side is right. What it is up to us to decide within is when we're going to remember who we really are, when these questions diminish and the truth is revealed in a way where our consciousness shifts the actions that are happening. What we are seeing, what we are witnessing, what we are all co-creating is an imbalance of consciousness, because it's just so much easier to give it away. It's just so much easier to give away your power. It's just so much easier not to do the work, not to take a couple hours on a Monday night and really pay attention, not to listen to some shows like this one that will keep you in a higher consciousness. It's easier to do everything else. And especially in the sense of an egoic centered me, it will always be about you until the moment you really open your eyes and see the greater you. And see that as we relax more and trust our divine nature, we become the truth rather than keep seeking it. And the minute we claim that, our life flourishes in ways we could never dream. We are always in the right place. We are always supported. We are always in flow because imagine all the space you could open up to receive if you let go of your doubt, if you let go of your worry, if you let go of what Sri and I call the victim consciousness. The world of density is based upon, built upon, depends upon victim consciousness, which means that within your life, there are always three presenting energies: a victim, an abuser, and a rescuer. And you play all three roles at any given time and usually become very good at one at the most. The gift of that is when we finally are honest, nakedly authentic with ourselves enough to say, you know what? I'm really done with that. All right, I get it. I might have to walk through my own valley of death. I get it. I might have to walk through the void. I get it. I have no clue what's going to happen next. And I am the first one to say, been there, done that. But that's that moment of spiritual tenacity that breaks you free to the other side. And what's so beautiful, Abby, and I know you know this, is the minute you really get to the other side, you wonder why you waited so long, because it gets so much easier. I mean, it just gets so much easier because you're not hiding who you are. Think of all the time people spend hiding who they are, right? Oh no, I can't dress that way. I can't say that. I can't be that. My hair can't look this way. Do you know how many years I wore the helmet? I cut my hair into the business crop. You don't want to know how many years in the high heels and the suits and the pantyhose, the whole deal, right? I mean, I did that for a long time and I was very successful at it. And the whole time it was a lie. My capacity as a businesswoman wasn't a lie, but I was involved with an organization where I better declare myself a Republican and I better say certain things. And it took a lot of energy to maintain that facade. And so it really is a blessing when we finally say yes to who we are, but it does mean, yes, you're going to probably change your circle of friends. Well, all they are is partners in pain. So we thank them for doing their job. Yes, you might leave a marriage for quote unquote, no good reason. Yes, you might physically move. Yes, your financial status may change temporarily in one way or another. None of this is set in stone, but is all of it potentially happening? Yes. And anyone who tells you it's going to be an easy ride is lying. Because if it was that easy a ride for them, then they have not achieved the level of mastery that you are most likely looking to discover. The truth is that we are here for the experience. Awareness, remember, how do we ascend? Awareness. We first have to remember what we don't even remember. And until we're nakedly honest, we haven't. So we have to first gaze, and your level of awareness always changes with your level of consciousness. Awareness, the experience of that awareness, and then the choice that's made, which brings you to the next ring of awareness, which brings you to the next experience, which brings you to the next choice. It is an ever expanding, infinite spiral. So you will always be in it. And so as we are in this month right now, which is an experience month, those are always the most intense. And is it any surprise that November will be another choice month? We're at a moment that is so beautiful. We are at a time beyond time. We are at a moment where collectively we have not gone this far before. And this is something that really challenges those that are attached to the mythology of, let's say, Atlantis and the other experiences. Because when we had that experience, when we had all of the other creative experiences, the level of consciousness that created it was the same. It doesn't mean that the technological and the way that we moved with things, I'm talking about the level of consciousness. It was at this level, just a little bit actually right where we've been probably for about the past 15 years, this level of consciousness that created the implosions that ended those civilizations. That is why so many of us, and I know you're one of them as well, Abby, how many of us our entire lives knew this moment was coming? You had this thing in your stomach. You just had this memory, or you've always had this right in the background, this sense of a cataclysmic something, or this just concern about it. And, it might not have been a reason for it. You've always tried to push it away. Well, that's because you remember. That's because you were part of it. That's because you're here to expand your consciousness beyond the limitation of the ego. When the ego and the level of consciousness meet on the battlefield, who is more heavily armed? Because that's the battlefield right now. It's the ego of this body, and it's heavily armed, and it's got a lot of spiritual language wrapped around it. And it's your consciousness saying, I'm just loving you. I'll just sit and wait for you to break free, because the consciousness has got all the time in the world, and it knows that you're loving this. So until the ego's really ready to wake up and go, oh, there you are. The consciousness sitting there eating popcorn, having a great time, going, this is great. Look at this lifetime. Wow, look at that. Consciousness having a great time. And so where do we want to be? That's where we're at right now, right? Your consciousness is just hanging out going, well, when you're ready, I'm here. Let's do this. But the ego's over here making up all these stories, aligning with all of this other stuff because it loves it and it makes it feel safe. And it's when we can finally gaze in the mirror. And I remember, and I'll close with this, and thank you for letting me share, Abby. It was after my fourth marriage, which was the Bad B movie. Everything, the FBI shows up. The whole deal, the Bad B movie. It was after that I really remember literally looking in a mirror and realizing that the only thing I had in common with these marriages was me. I was the common denominator. Obviously, I was calling this in. And it was at that moment that I knew every one of them had played their role perfectly. And that I was the one that needed to keep getting did you get it? No, let me marry that one again. Did you get it? No, let me marry that one again. Did you get it? No, let me marry that one again. Perfect balance 4 times, right? 4 freaking times. And I remember I was just like, I'm just not the Marian type, right? It's like, this is just not going to work. So I stopped, right? I just said enough. But what I did do was I realized I had been compromising. I realized that I was married to men who were not vegetarian, and that I've been a vegetarian since I was a child, that I can't even be around it. I realized that I had compromised my values. I realized that I was married to people who found my values repulsive. I realized that I was tired of really hiding. And I realized that I was tired of being afraid of being alone. And that as busy as I was, as successful as I was, as much money as I had made, I was still afraid to be with me. And so I made a decision. That was it. And I literally on my knees was like, I'm yours. I'm yours. And that was when all of the gifts I was born with started coming back much, much faster. I did wind up, losing millions of dollars in that moment. I wound up in the back of a metaphysical store in Cherry Creek, Denver. I was behind a little screen doing readings. Happiest I've been in my life, wondering how I'm going to feed my daughter. And daughters, at that time, I still had both of them. And I was a single mom watching her Lexus get flatbedded away. And within 3 months, Sri Ramka came into my life. And right before he came into my life, it had been only 6 weeks that I wound up being such a big reader in town that I then had a three-month wait. Money wasn't a problem. I was offering soul readings for people. The store I was in was starting to do very well. And I left because of 2 things. Sri Ramka showed up and our greater mission came. And when that happened, and I was in a metaphysical store, and I was the one doing most of the readings, the owner of the store came to me, told me he was the devil, told me that how dare I leave because I was her moneymaker, and that why wasn't I selling more things in my readings because the other readers were doing that? Why wasn't I telling people as part of the reading that they had to buy this, this, or that? And so the greatest gift I was ever given was to see firsthand what spiritualized ego does. To see that just because someone has the language doesn't make them benevolent or integrous. And that here this beautiful man came into my life who is the most integrous, honoring. I mean, they're truly the textbook Prince Charming. And all of my friends told me he was the devil. And I wasn't even allowed back in that store to claim my things. They packed them up, put them in a box, and sent them to me. Wow. And so I'm sharing this story with you because in this moment right now, all the stories are being told. All of the books are open. And there is a teacher for every level of consciousness. And every teacher deserves to have their teaching put out there. And not all are the same. And just because we accept things when we are at one level of consciousness, does that bind us from ever expanding beyond them? That's the moment at hand. And just like in the world of density, in the world of intuition, in the world of consciousness right now, there is a battle for light. And that is the choice that is before us all. And that is what November is going to bring forward in even greater clarity. And that is why November is such a blessing. And that is why we are loved so much that we are being given these connections, that we are coming together. If we keep our minds engaged, I mean, if we really keep our minds engaged this time, we will be trapped. We will be trapped because the distraction fuel is massive. It's massive. It wants you to be afraid. It wants you to stop. And so it's about trusting yourself even more. And every one of us are in a PhD plan right now because the universe is saying, look, it's at a point where there will be nothing else you can trust. And again, I'm pivoting from what you mentioned earlier, Abby. Where is the truth? Where it's always been, right inside of you. And nobody can take it away, but they can help you be confused about what you're seeing and how to find it. And that's why the ascended heart is so important right now, because it's a double anchor. It's the infinite crossed with the infinite. It's a generator. It's a motor. It sustains the first, second, and third chakra so that our bodies reverse age, so that we become amazingly infinite in our form, so that our clarity ignites beyond consciousness, right? And then it clears our throat from all of the false beliefs and opens our crown so that we become walking masters in form. That's what's the yoga of self-essential. That's the moment at hand. And thank you for letting me share. I'll zip.
No, you're great. You're just feeling, I feel like everything you say is true and so beautiful. And just really quick, when Kira's talking about trusting yourself, what I can offer as experience and knowingness is it's trusting your heart. So as she was talking, I literally felt my crown, so the top of my head get tingles. And I was like, that's interesting. So my crown chakra is opening, but what my spirit was showing me is the first step is go to your heart, right? So the ascended heart, but your heart. And Kira even taught me this, put both hands on your heart. So feel your heart and then drop into your gut a couple inches below your belly button, that center of knowingness. And let that embody the love that you are. Let that drive you, right? Because that knowing, when it passes through your heart, to me, that is your ascended presence. And then that intuition is that inner compass, right? So you'll be guided. You'll, like a magnet, be pulled forward. And so you can trust that embodiment of the truth of the love that you are in your body, right? And it's so funny because like last 3 weeks, Kira, probably, I kept working with clients and I kept being like, emerald green, bring the emerald green light, and then bring the blue light. And they're all like, whoa, this works. And it's exactly what you said. I didn't even know it until you said it. It's the ascended heart. And I was like, funny, I was channeling that, right? So like that works, right? Like that green is the emerald. It's the heart chakra lifting up into your truth. And I was like, the blue is this protective energy. I think it is. And it's your truth, right? So it's, I can feel something really major coming up in November. And I felt like this like earthquake energy, like something happening for a really long time. Like you said, you'll remember. And I do, I pushed away. I don't want to know, but yet I know. And so it's like, am I supposed to go here, there, whatever? And so to feel it. And so we're all going through this together, but to put one hand on your heart, the other one on your gut, and feel that knowingness and that light, and even just ask the light to guide you. Like, let's keep it simple. Let go of the confusion. Light, God that I am, guide me, right? Guide me through my body. And the yeses, they feel right. They expand you, the no's contract you.
Well, if I could, I just want to offer with that, of course, the mantra of self-ascension, which is always such a beautiful centering gift, which is simply, I am here, right? It's that call to consciousness. I am here. I am ready. I am open. Guide me. It's that sincerity, love, and presence expressed out to the universe that creates miracles. And, as the universe always shares with us, remember, you will never be known by your words. What you're afraid to look at within yourself is what you are known by. So why not look at it and claim it and own it and love it so that you are that which is, so that the law of instantaneous manifestation is your life. I am here. I am ready. I am open. Guide me, knowing you are guided. So thank you for sharing that, Abby. Very beautiful.
Yeah, totally. It's funny. Also, your bird, we kind of knew that bird was part of the show. So like a little bit ago when you were talking, the wing was on the picture behind you. And what I thought was like, fly into your dreams so that picture becomes alive. And so at my old house in Oregon, I used to have pictures of the ocean, right? And my mom like helped me, move some of my stuff. And she's like, Abby, you don't need that picture anymore. You're living it. So my point is like the picture can come alive. Your life, the pictures, the dreams you've had, they can come alive. You can be the living expression of that picture you've had in your mind, that dream, right? And that sweet little bird, like, here you are, I'm in that picture flying, here's the wings, Right. So it's like, let it be easy too. Let it feel light, let it feel good. Don't complicate it. I mean, it's, if it feels right, it's right. And it doesn't mean you don't have fear. It just means it feels right. And so you move through it. You feel the fear and do it anyways. So just real quick, I'm going to just say the phone number, 858-692-4555. If anybody else wants to call in, because I try to leave the last 15 minutes or so for call-ins. If you want to ask Kira a question, me a question, we're here. I know you do the mini soul readings, whatever comes through. So is there anything else you want to share, Kira, in the moment?
Well, thank you for asking, Abby. First of all, I just want to share that it's just coming up this March. I really want to share with everyone this past weekend. I don't know if you caught our show yesterday here at Oneness Talk Radio, streaming here live, but go and at least watch in the middle the video. We were blessed. We have been discovering this temple here at Tosa Blue Mountain in Ecuador, and we have a beautiful group with us here right now, as a matter of fact. And we have known, I've had all this information downloading. It's been all here. We've had the local Kenyati, because we live in a Kenyati village. Well, miracle of miracles, on 10/10 this past Saturday, because he chose that date, the 50 lineage, 50 consecutive lineages, right? He's the 50th one in his family. Medicine man of the High Kenyari that live in the Kenyar province. Don't you love that he flew to my head when I said that? That's actually a sign, was here at Tosa Blue Mountain, and they confirmed that this is the lost temple. They were crying. One of them said he's never been inside of a temple like this in his entire life. And he said that there is a prophecy about this. They also said that on the equinox of this March, which is when we are hosting the WWA Global Summit, that they want to come with the entire village, with all the instruments, all the elders in their beautiful red ponchos and their handmade hats, to send the message of oneness to the world, that it is the time for the tribes to reunify, and that this is why this is happening. And so I'm inviting everyone, mark the date, whether you are here live, whether you're going to join us virtually. This is going to be a worldwide event, the WWA Global Summit, March, equinox 2021, beyond mind-blowing. And so I wanted to share that because Sri and I shared a lot yesterday on the air. And if you're really wanting to feel more about the potency of these next few months, and remember, that's why September, think about the timelines, and let me try to do it without confusing people. So September 2020, we skipped ahead to September 2021. And by the end of that month, September 2020, just a few days ago, we had pulled in all of the learning we would have taken a year to accomplish. Mm-hmm. So that brought us to September 2021. Now in October, we're at 6 at 1. So this is October 2021, November, December 2021, January 2022, and February 2022. We are now literally reaching into that. And on Friday night, we're going to consciously do all this timeline, get it more stable. We are now pulling that ahead and being told, if you can go forward into February 2022 and pull all that in right now, we have an opportunity to affect with balance what that time is going to look like. And I know that's really fascinatingly challenging to look at for the first time, and it can be very challenging to hear. However, it's exactly what's happening, and that's why it's being challenged. Because the distraction energy to keep you in this singularly focused timeline, singularly focused on singular events, make them as polarizing and as horrific as possible to distract you, is actually what the Mercury retrograde is going to reveal. It's going to show us the level of distraction. So it's a big moment ahead. I just want to keep talking about it because it's just, my breath is big, and I'll be talking about it on the air tomorrow night again on Soul Mirrors right here at Oneness Talk Radio, because it's that important. And again, I challenge everyone, what are you willing to do? What are you really willing to do right now? Do you really want the life of your dreams? Do you really want to trust yourself? Then what are you willing to do about it? Are you willing to break out of some patterns? Are you willing to do things a little differently? Are you willing, number one, to stop eating meat, because you won't get there eating meat? Remember that. Let go of what you think about it in any other way. You're eating fear. Why do you think they want you eating meat? No matter how an animal is killed, because all animals must be killed to be able to be eaten. No matter how they're killed, they die in fear. If someone humanely came up to you and prayed over you and then chopped off your head, would you be ever less fearful? And so regardless of whatever ancient traditions, and I know this angers those in the ancient traditions, because it's time for us to grow beyond the limitation. What are you willing to do to hold higher consciousness? What are you really willing to do? And as Einstein said, we will never solve problems at the level of consciousness that created them. Consciousness is our way through this moment right now. And that's why it's the most heavily being, let's just say, challenged on many levels.
Wow. Wow, so much. And what I love is when you talk and I feel the truth, it just illuminates me. And I pause. It's funny. I don't always pause this much, but I can just feel truth. And I recognize that feeling. Nicole on Oneness Talk Radio would probably call it soulful illumination. Like, I love it. It's just, it opens up. So I just invite everybody listening to tune in to the truth, to feel the light within you, to let your intuition activate and trust it and take action on it and do what's in alignment with your higher heart, your ascended presence, right? And know that you're so supported. And then, just be willing to take those steps, right? Like, even if it's like one step at a time. I remember Bria one time, she's like, yeah, Abby, all you need to do is take one step. Just take one step. Like, that's all you got to do. And it's like, it's enough that like got me just to visit, right? And then it's like, you just keep going. So it's just one step at a time, right? And to feel the earth underneath you and just supporting you, loving you, um, and the beauty that's all around you. You don't know this, Kira, but I noticed probably about a month and a half ago when I don't know, our connection's been so strong, and I would start to look at nature or people, and it was like closer to me. It was almost like it literally would speak to me, but it was like so close I could feel it. And I was like, wow, this is presence. And then I felt your gratitude. And I think Shri too, because you're so connected to him, but like be so grateful that we're alive. And so, yes, there's challenge and struggle sometimes. And there's a presence that's more powerful than anything. And I call it life force connection, right? Like, it is a powerful presence of love. And I kid you not, like the nature element. I mean, I literally, I had a girlfriend. She went to the river with me before I got here. And she was like, we would command the elements literally with our hands. She did something and we commanded it. And there was, I think I might have told Jonathan about this. There was these geese. It was somebody I told us about this. So there was these geese. I was walking down and I was like 20 geese. And as I'm talking to this client, these geese just stop, like fully stop. And I was like, whoa. And they were like, okay, what do you want? And then they just keep walking and they go to this huge body of water. It's like, some man-made fountain thing. And I was like, yeah. And I promised myself, my spirit, I'll get you back to the water, because you and I both know I just need the ocean, period. And so it was like, yes, I will do that. Geese walked all the way, cleansed themselves, just got in the water. And I was like, okay. And I sat under a tree. And it was like, even before then, but ever since then, it was like, I would just watch, like the birds come at the specific time. The trees are literally ushering me in, like, go down this path. So there's a presence that when you drop into your heart and your gut, your intuitive knowing, the universe is conspiring to help you. Is there other forces at work? Yes. Is the presence of love stronger than anything? Yes. Are you that love? Yes. And that's what she means when she says, trust yourself. She's saying, trust the love within you, because it is more powerful. I've had some really fascinating things happen since I got here. I mean, it's just like one of my account getting hacked into. I mean, just weird stuff. And I'm like, but like through it all, I was just like, I got this. Like, I know the truth. This is ironic, but like, I have the right banker to talk to. Like, I called somebody, I think her name was Mary. I was like, oh, your mother, Mary, you got me taken care of. Like, I'm good, So it's like each step, it's like you're held. So I guess that's really all I want to say for now is it's like, and even in relationship, like, that's interesting. Where does that come from? And it's like, okay, I know the truth. Be in it, be in it, be in the light. And so just be that love. Let it illuminate you and everybody around you, because what's mirroring you is more love. And so, like, stay connected. And this is the image I keep getting about the show this morning, Kira, is I see us all in a circle and holding hands in our hearts united, right? Like we're in this circle of light, lifting up, and guess what? We're inviting more people. And then there's a higher dimension inviting us to go up higher, right? So it's like the ascended masters are just like, we're here, keep going. And we're just all lifting each other up. So I'm just grateful for everybody listening, showing up, illuminating your presence, and just being here because you lift me up. And we are so in this together. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And virus definitions update. I am protected on my computer now.
Yes, you are.
So is there anything else you want to share, Kira, before we log off? I think we're supposed to end in a few minutes. So is there anything else you want to share?
Just that honestly, I have just enjoyed this moment with you so much. And I'm loving this conversation and this moment and your beautiful radiance. As I said earlier, it should be radiant you. And thank you for saying yes to you. Thank you for saying yes at a time when the planet is asking all of us to say yes. And so for everyone that says yes, thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And just one more thing, if you haven't had a chance to visit www.lifeforceconnection.com, you can review just tons of free stuff, but ways to work with me or other coaches on developing your intuition, getting certified in it, and or starting a business. And I have some exciting news to share with you, Kira. So we have a nonprofit that Kira knows about. She's very connected with. It's called One Heart Global. You'll see it at the bottom of that website. And we have some funds ready to give the orphanage that you connected us with. So I'll be sending you some emails sometimes to connect, but we have some of that. And I know we want to build a school together, but the first step is in place and just super excited. We started a class called the Universal Language of Love. You guys can email me about that if you want. But yeah, so super excited that we can help some kiddos in Ecuador. And like I said, if anybody wants to go to that site.
Thank you. Thank you. We're so, thank you, sincerely.
Totally. All right, everyone. We'll have a wonderful, blessed day, and we will see you next week. Thank you. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.